This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun.
This is a sham.
No. Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Welcome to DBL. It's Wednesday, December 8th. I am Tori here with Lindsay and Erica.
Ladies. I've been waiting to say that for like,
I was like,
4 months to say
Erica,
that.
ladies. I'm so excited to have you both here. Very excited. I do want to get into this trial that's going on. We haven't really talked a lot about it. We got an update for you on the sex trafficking trial of Ghislaine Maxwell. So one of her accusers, who is going by Carolyn, testified that Maxwell felt her breasts and told her she had a great body for Epstein and his friends. She said she was paid $300 to visit Epstein's home every time she went there, and went more than 100 times between the ages of 14 and 18. Now, the prosecution also presented these new photos of Epstein and Maxwell together. Remember, photos are pretty rare of them, like these showing Maxwell massaging his feet. There are also more photos of them together, some kissing, which the prosecution says goes to show the nature of their relationship, characterizing them as, quote, partners in crime. Check out these photos of Epstein's massage room. This is the infamous room where several of his alleged victims said they were abused. Meantime, a woman named Sarah Ransom says she was recruited into Epstein's alleged sex ring in 2006, and she was on CBS this morning talking about her experience. Take a look.
I have so many examples of how Ghislaine not only tortured me and abused me, but other survivors. She grabbed my arm and marched me into Jeffrey's room where I was then raped. So when she says that she had nothing to do and she had no idea, she was a facilitator. She was Jeffrey's right-hand woman. She orchestrated everything.
All right, it's interesting to me she's a woman, that we're talking about this partner in crime and who literally allegedly touched people, assaulted women, and she's a woman. You don't see that often, am I right? What do you think about her being a woman and how the trial is going? Please, Lindsay.
I think, you know, on the one hand, to hear her defense saying that she's being charged for Jeffrey Epstein's misdeeds and that she's a scapegoat, and then to hear these alleged victims, like Sarah Ransom, say that they came out because they're watching this trial and then also felt their secrets were weighing them down. She said, you know, you're only as sick as your secrets. That's something that really stuck out to me during that CBS interview. I think it's two totally different stories, and to just try to absolve yourself from everything going on with Jeffrey Epstein when we have these pictures and have people placing you at the scene of a lot of these alleged crimes. I think it's just we don't even know the extent to how many alleged victims there are out there. I think that this is just people who wanted to speak out, because if you listen to some of these people who are allegedly abused testimony, you know, there are obviously people who don't want to speak out because they might get shamed, like Sarah Ransom was shamed when she first came out. They said she wanted money and other things, and she said while she made some bad decisions, that doesn't mean she deserved to be raped, allegedly. Of course not. So, you know, it's just tough to watch this play out, and then to see that a woman, the worst part for me is that there were young people involved, but any woman that enables another woman getting raped or sexually abused is disgusting.
I think so too. And Erica, they said, and I've gone into this, Jeffrey Epstein would have Ghislaine bring in multiple massages a day. The sessions were almost unpleasurable. It was just like sex, like an addict. What do you think?
It doesn't surprise me. Nothing that people do surprises me. There are women who are out there right now who are absolute sexual predators, especially when we're talking about people who aren't of the age of consent. When you talked about shame, shame would probably be something that you would hope for on the worst end, because ultimately we're talking about a lot of really powerful people who could make you disappear if they wanted to. A lot of women, and I say a lot as in there's been more than one story, have come forward to talk about what has happened to them. But the idea that people want to put these women on trial and like, oh, it's about the money, it's about the fame, it really shows you how little we have for value of life. Like, what exactly is the price of being sexualized at 14 years old, raped repeatedly, dehumanized? Like, is there a going going rate on the market for that? I mean, if somebody on Twitter who's talking about these women wants to throw out what that going rate is, I'd be interested in just seeing like how that all quantifies, because what happened here was systematic. It was very intentional, and I disagree. She is not being charged for Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. She's being charged for her role in helping to facilitate said crimes, and she should be.
And participating in some of them.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't want to forget that. I mean, she really was part of the sexual assaults at times, holding women down, allegedly. So I just want to make sure she's placed in the right spot. Let us know what you guys think. We do want to move on to this trial. In closing arguments today in the trial of Jussie Smollett, the prosecutor called Jussie a serial liar and said there is no question that he orchestrated the attack. Now, yesterday, Jussie asked the prosecution to stop saying the N-word while reading texts between Jussie and the Osandaro brothers. So let's break this down into two. Let's start with the N-word. Do you think it's fair for him to say, hey, please don't do that? There's people in the audience, there's people in this court, even though he was sending those texts?
I just seriously question if there's any legal reason as to why you would have to say these things verbatim.
Right.
Like, is that a part of how the justice system works? Because that was a serious misstep to me to use it, not use it even once, but repeatedly use it.
Yeah.
Had this been a case where we're now in court talking about a hate crime,
right,
then that might be material to this story. But the idea that he's using it to just say it verbatim, now we're talking about this prosecutor as opposed to talking about the facts of the case.
But is it possible they're trying to say the word to show how close the two of them were?
No, what is that? That proves nothing.
Okay,
and I think
nothing.
I
was like, here's the other side.
Immediately I thought about the OJ case, and I was like, oh, using the N-word was like a turn case moment in that case. That was like a moment, and they were intentionally trying to show you that this had some racially, racial undertones. But I think for this, he's talking to someone who's his alleged good friend, so there's no, that's how they may banter. What does that have to do with the actual crime they commit? I think spinning around the block and circling the block twice is more important than how he was telling him, let's spin around the block.
So you think just asking to say the N-word was totally appropriate?
Yeah, asking him to stop, and I think it almost probably worked in Jussie's favor, because now it looks like, what are we trying to do here? Are we trying to plot against him as the Chicago police as a unit, and don't want to admit that there's some issues going on with the police department? So I don't know, but I do think, to just go back to yesterday in this case, and this being the closing day for the case, I am looking at this and saying, Jussie Smollett, the overarching, no matter what happens, he's bringing down the ship with him, period, no matter what, because I think that Don Lemon is probably sitting at home, and mind you, I told you how I feel about journalism. He's probably sitting at home like, what do I have to do with this? And Jussie Smollett is like, listen, I'm going down kicking and screaming, and I don't know if he's going to go down or not, and I will refrain from saying my opinion until we get an actual verdict, because that's what our court system is for. But I do think that he's just like, listen, if I'm going down, so is everybody, otherwise I'm getting off.
Dang, wow. Remember that walk he did when he walked in with his lawyers, like in formation? Intense. All right. Google is out with their annual list of top searches, and it seems like a lot of you are interested in sports and news. Okay. The top Google search was for the NBA, then DMX, Gabby Petito, Kyle Rittenhouse, and Brian Laundrie. The top people search this year include Kyle Rittenhouse, followed by Tiger Woods, Alec Baldwin, Travis Scott, and Simone Biles. And look at these top how-to-be searches. People Googled how to be eligible for the stimulus check, how to be more attractive, how to be happy alone, how to be a baddie. I Googled that. And how to be, it came up with don't try, Tori, and how to be a good boyfriend. Can we scroll back on the prompter a little bit? How to be happy alone. What a pandemic Google search.
Yeah, a lot of people were going through it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at...
That breaks my heart.
Yeah, and the thing about it is, at least people are trying to seek that out, because if you can't be happy alone, you're not going to be happy with anybody else. Y'all need to stop tripping.
And I'm not good at being alone. You've helped me in the past, like going to eat. Like some people love going to eat, going to the bar, having a nice meal. And I have a really hard time with that, and I'm getting better at that. But it's tricky if you're not good at it. It's tricky.
I hope that Colin searched how to be a good boyfriend, number 5. I hope that he was the reason that thing popped up.
Let's unpack that.
No, I actually think, I was like,
how to be a good boyfriend, is that it?
Yes, that's the one, number 5. But we also should have searched what we should eat for dinner, because I think that the way you get in the biggest argument for me in a relationship is not knowing what's for dinner. So how to find a good meal on Postmates when you have watched all of Netflix and ordered all of Postmates throughout the pandemic.
Yeah.
That was my biggest issue.
You've gone through all of Netflix. You finished it. Yep. I feel you. I understand. I'm doing shadow puppets at this point. Coming up on DBL. If you love Hallmark movies, you want to stick around. We're talking with the hilarious trio. These guys are funny. Deck the Hallmark in just a few minutes. But first, the best moments from live in front of a studio audience, who made surprise appearances, and who got bleeped. We're chatting about it coming up next.
Closed captioning provided by
It's so easy.
I'm listening to the conversation over there, and Michael Dean is breaking down what a baddie is to Tori, which is hilarious. A baddie is considered anybody who's just like, you know what a baddie is. I want to know what you guys searched. I'm going to look in the comments because I really was searching for food a lot. Like, and even now I moved into a community that's still developing, and so food is still an issue because they're still building stuff. So I'll drive all the way by Erica's house to get a good meal, and I'll text you like, I was talking about looking for food. I told you I drive all the way to Daughter's Thai.
Oh, yeah.
Or anywhere in the vicinity of downtown Denver, anywhere, to get a good meal because they're still building food by me.
There's some good, I mean,
not nice. That's
see,
very
I like to, when we're out in different parts of town, like outside of the city, I like to go places that like we can't get in the city.
Right.
So it's like there's so many like cute little mom and pop like in different towns and stuff that I'm like, oh, let's try this. Oh, this is Cajun. Or, you know, I used to do that.
No, I
when
need
was
a booster
growing up.
seat. Just wanted you to check out what's
Oh
going
my
on right
gosh.
here. I think I got shorter after because I need to sit on a towel. This is embarrassing. Am I too tall now? I feel like a giant.
No, that is so
I can say
funny.
F-bomb, right?
Dre don't want to laugh. He's trying to be humble about it. This is embarrassing.
You look
Hey,
very
guys.
even.
A baddie is someone that's like Erica or Lindsay, all put together, and like really put together.
Meg the Stallion.
I thought a baddie was a bad, like a hard. No, it's someone who's like put. I didn't know that. I am not that, right?
From this town.
Then I'm not a baddie. Will you guys write me in if you think who's the best baddie around?
You just got to be like going with confidence.
I don't think I'm a baddie.
But you gotta believe in yourself and like have confidence.
Welcome to DBL. The Facts of Life in Different Strokes came back to TV last night as a part of the Live in Front of a Studio Audience series. For The Facts of Life, Jennifer Aniston, there she is, received big applause for her take on Blair Warner, who I always wanted to be. Guest stars Jason Bateman, Will Arnett, and Jon Stewart broke character playing the boyfriends. But everyone is talking about Lisa Whelchel, who appeared off the top to sing the theme song along with some of her original co-stars. It was great. Take a look. Isn't that cool? Okay, sorry, I'm really into it. Speaking of OG cast members, Todd Bridges appeared at the start of the Different Strokes episode. Snoop Dogg guest star. I can't believe it. As Willis's friend Vernon. This guy is everywhere. Look at him. And Kevin Hart delivered Arnold Jackson's iconic line. Let's all watch.
This is my room, too. See, that's the problem. I got no quiet, I got no privacy, I got nowhere to go to think my deep thoughts.
What you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about, Willis? Okay, I thought it was great, and I thought Norman Lear and Jimmy Kimmel produced it, put on a great job. Norman Lear's 99, and he looks fantastic. I think we have a picture of, look at him.
Wow.
99 years old and still kicking it. He did drop a bleep in the beginning, so he's still got some sass. What'd you guys think, Erica?
I loved it. I actually watched it this morning as I was getting ready for work, and I seriously had the thought, I would always, when I would get ready for school, think like, it would be so cool to have a TV in my room and get ready and watch TV. And I was like so like smiling, like, I have a TV in my room and I can get ready and watch this. It's like nostalgia.
Like,
yes, for sure.
I thought it was going to be weird to have middle-aged people playing these characters, but then it didn't. I watched it and I thought it was awesome. And I also think right now we have like a big craving for nostalgia.
Yes.
I think in the last year we saw Friends reunion, we saw Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reunion. You know, we see Full House come back like 2 years ago and do their version on Netflix. And so I think that everybody's just craving like to go back to something that was a time that was simpler.
Yeah, I
because
agree.
of how crazy the last 2 years
You
were.
want to be enveloped in old nostalgia of feelings and smells and everything you remember. Is there a show growing up, your little 13-year-old Erica, you'd want to see in front of a live studio audience now? I was thinking of like Cheers would be really good.
Cheers would be classic.
Golden Girls might be good, although you can't top it. It's so good.
Three's Company?
Three's Company with John Ritter's son.
Family Matters.
Yes, that would be Steve Urkel.
Family Matters.
Would be
Yes.
good. That'd be good.
And Martin for sure. We can't leave that out.
Martin would be
and
very
Gina,
good.
we gotta
Anything
get
in
them
like
back together.
an apartment, I feel like you could do.
Right, with the canned laughter, that's all you need.
That's all you need. Wow. We could be on it, huh?
No, I'm a terrible actress. I'm a terrible singer. This is the job that was meant for me.
We'll take it, Lindsay. We'll take it. Coming up on DBL, we're getting into the holiday spirit. Do not miss this hilarious interview with the host of Deck the Hallmark. It went off the rails. That's coming up next.
Pfizer and Merck have developed pills to help reduce the risk of hospitalization and death from COVID-19. Both drug makers have applied for emergency use authorization from the Food and Drug Administration in the coming weeks. Verify viewer Sandra wants to know, can Merck or Pfizer's COVID-19 treatment pills be given to children? So Sandra, let's verify. Our sources are Pfizer, Merck, studies on both drugs' efficacy, Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, and the FDA. Pfizer and Merck studied their COVID-19 pills in trials similar to how the vaccines were developed. A study of Merck's pill shows it reduced the risk of hospitalization or death by 30% among high-risk unvaccinated volunteers, while a separate study of Pfizer's pill reduced the risk by 89%. Both companies only studied the efficacy in people over the age of 18. Therefore, the FDA can only consider authorizing the pills in adults. So, it's false that Merck or Pfizer's COVID-19 pills can be given to children, at least for now. Cedars-Sinai Medical Center explains researchers often start with adults and then work backwards to study the drugs on children because, quote, trials for children require special ethical and clinical considerations and have to meet a higher standard before they can start recruiting participants, unquote. Pfizer tells Verify it hasn't yet determined a timeline to begin studying its pill in children. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. We're counting down to Christmas, and what better way to celebrate the holidays than by talking about Hallmark Christmas specials. We caught up with the hilarious hosts of Deck the Hallmark to do just that. Let's have a look.
We're so excited to chat with you guys about Hallmark's countdown to Christmas, which I'm obsessed with, by the way.
Very true. So, Bran likes them. No, loves them. Panda likes them. Dan absolutely despises Hallmark Christmas movies.
Excuse me.
What can listeners expect from your podcast, Deck the Hallmark, which I think is a great name?
Oh, it's a lot of fighting. It's taking things way too seriously that weren't meant to be taken seriously. I genuinely love these movies. Dan genuinely hates them, and Pat's just kind of stuck here in the middle.
Yeah.
So we bicker a lot, but at the end of the day, we always hug, make some hot chocolate, and sing some songs. So it all turns out well here.
Mazel tov. Dan, I got a bone to pick with you. I'm even wearing my holiday shoes today. Can you see?
Oh, boy.
Wow.
I was like, okay. I apologize.
A different program.
Wow, that was
Different podcast.
Dan, why do you despise these Hallmark movies that I literally every Sunday wind down my week with?
Because I typically enjoy actual movies. Is typically the issue. I got to be honest. We've done like 400 of these now, or something crazy like that. The first one I watched, I literally couldn't get through. Like after 20 minutes, I had to stop and take a break. And now, like they go down pretty easily, but they're not. I think what I've embraced is they're not trying to be good. You know what I mean? They're trying to be the thing that you wind down on Sunday with. They're not trying to be actual art. And so I enjoy how much I hate them. But they're not my thing. They're not my type of comfort food, but they are someone's. I just think anytime you make a movie in 15 days, you can't expect it to be good. You know what I mean? Like you can't expect it to be great. That's a high expectation. Like it's like popping in a DiGiorno's pizza and expecting it to be like gourmet, right? You're there to eat what you think is kind of your thought of what pizza is, not what it actually is.
You're not cooking your DiGiorno's right, Dan.
Delicious.
I don't know about that. I'll tell you one thing about these feel-good Hallmark movies. It's not only the plot, and I agree with you. You got to understand what you're viewing. It's supposed to be really easy viewing. You can be on your phone at the same time, but I'll tell you what the kicker is. The kicker is the beautifully set towns, the music, the cardigans, the hats, the scarves. It immediately, just the ambiance and having it in the background sets a tone. It's almost like you have your Christmas tree up. It's the same type of thing. It's a decoration. Ambiance. It's feel good.
You were doing a full all that jazz. Like you were here and here and threw it across.
Yes.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got all of it in there.
There were definitely spirit fingers involved. It put me on the Dan train, actually.
Welcome aboard.
It's like, is it that serious? Maybe it is. Okay. So, who do you think is the best Hallmark Christmas star of all time?
Okay.
Ooh, it's tough.
Well, on the leading lady side of things, Nikki DeLoach, who's been doing this for years and years and years.
That's Sam's
That's one of my best
She
friends.
is. She's a dear friend of the show. She comes on all the time, and she is such a wonderful person.
Yeah.
And she's a legitimately good actress, and she crushes it every
Best of
time.
the best.
She really is good.
And then there's guys like Christopher Palaha, who's doing like other stuff, like he's going to be in the next Jurassic World. Like he's really great. Guys like Tyler Hines that looks good and acts gooder.
Which is a rarity on the Hallmark.
So there's a lot of good ones out there.
Thanks so much for chatting with us. You guys were a real treat. You can listen to Deck the Hallmark on any podcast player now. Thanks, guys. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Aren't they cute? You want more? You can get the Trio's book out now. It's called I'll Be Home for Christmas Movies, your guide to your holiday TV obsession, and it's available at deckthehallmark.com. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
That sound means it is time to verify, and it's time to get to the bottom of a claim fueling debate and discord among two groups of people, those who are and are not vaccinated against COVID-19. You've seen variations of this assertion circulating social media that given the occurrence of breakthrough cases, people who are vaccinated against COVID are just as likely to spread the virus as people who are not. Is that true? To verify, I talked to infectious diseases physician Chris Uhl with Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist and looked into the apparent source of the claim in question. An October research study published in The Lancet. It examined what is called viral load, or how much virus you have. The study found COVID vaccination reduces the risk of contracting the virus, including the Delta variant, and it also lessens the length of the infection. Yet fully vaccinated individuals with breakthrough infections have a peak viral load similar to that of people who aren't vaccinated. Dr. Uhl said while that could be concerning from a transmission standpoint, the viral loads are not apples to apples.
While the peak viral load may be just as high, it turns out that people who've been vaccinated, the viral load decreases much quicker than it does in an unvaccinated person. So the time available to transmit is shorter, thus fewer cases transmitted. The other thing we found out is that when looking for actual viable, a live virus in people with these peak viral loads, harder to find.
Dr. Uhl said, in other words, your immune system beats up the virus before it's detectable on a PCR test. He pointed out vaccinated college students who live together in residence halls tend to have low transmission rates, even with breakthrough cases. And the risk of transmission in vaccinated households is 50% less than in unvaccinated households.
So the good news is that even though your peak viral load may be high, that not all that virus is viable, and it is harder to transmit COVID if you've been vaccinated. Not impossible, but it's harder. But if we wear masks, we take that risk down even more if we're wearing those masks in an indoor situation.
In conclusion, we verified no, vaccinated people are not just as likely to spread the virus as people who are unvaccinated. Even if they contract breakthrough cases, those infections are shorter and contain less live virus. And all that said, breakthrough infections remain rarer than infections among people who are unvaccinated. The CDC notes unvaccinated people are nearly 6 times as likely to contract the virus and 14 times more likely to die from it. With your Verify, I'm Megan Malaris.
Welcome back to DBL. If you have leg pain, there's something you can do to feel better. We're chatting about it on DBL's Focus on Fitness, presented by QB. So according to the CDC, osteoarthritis is the most common arthritis affecting Americans, with the most common areas of pain being the legs, the knees, and the hips. The best thing you can do to lessen the pain is to get moving. Researchers say as soon as you stop moving, your joints become stiffer. You can try swimming because getting in the pool eliminates stress on your leg joints. Also, QB is another great way to get moving regardless of physical ability or age. So try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-556-2089 or visit QB.com to learn more. I am going to get my mom a QB
for Christmas?
Hanukkah.
Oh, for Hanukkah.
It's a little late. Sorry. But she can't do a lot of movements, but she can do this. I'm doing this.
Is it better late than never with the Hanukkah gift?
Yeah, she'd probably, any presents are fine. So sorry if you're watching, Mom. DBL is new every day. We'll see you same time, same place tomorrow. Thanks for watching, guys.